Hey everybody, it's Dina Rica with the Creativity Cave, and look at this adorable card that I have for you today. I love how this card turned out, and I know I say that all the time, but I totally think it's cute. So I was playing this weekend with the Oh So Succulent bundle, and these are just the most adorable succulent stamps ever. And I think it's super fun too because succulents are so popular. My daughter is really into them. She's a teenager, so obviously we're totally on trend if my 15-year-old thinks it's cool. And I think, here's the stamp set. I think what I love about this is that it's kind of a two-step set where there's the solid and then the detail over the top. You can use them separately, you can use them together. It's just fantastic. The options are endless. I love it. So let me show you how I made this card because it's really pretty easy. It's a little bit of putz work, stamping and die cutting out all of those pieces, but it goes pretty quick when you know how it works. And I have a couple of fun tips for you. So first of all, I realized I just started my video without any of my ink pads out. So let me grab them. I have a lovely little palette of colors, if I can just say. I have kind of mostly subtle colors, but I do have a couple in colors in here as well. So I'm using Pool Party, Mint Macaron, Sweet Sugar Plum, Calypso Coral, and Old Olive. And while I am Old Olive. And while I'm so not a fan of mint macaron, this is the color of succulents, many of them anyway. But what I love is you can kind of do any color combination and it looks awesome. So let me show you what I have here. Okay, so first of all, with these stamps, whenever I have them or whenever I'm using them, I kind of set them up together so that I can see what I have. To put them together easier. So for instance, I'll keep, the two that go together, and then that makes the stamping really easy. So then I've got these two, the solid and the detail, these two, the solid and the detail, these two, the solid and the detail, you get where I'm going with this? Okay, so I just stamped a whole bunch of them. The other thing is when you stamp with them, and let me slide a little scrap paper under here. When you stamp with these, I found that it's actually easier to start with the detail image and then do the solid on the second stamping. And usually it's the other way around. So I kind of like this, and let me show you why. So here is my solid image, and notice I did catch the edge there a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to cut it out. Now here's my detail, my solid, I'm sorry. I'm going to stamp off the first layer of ink, and then it is really easy to see where you're going. Although, yes, I'm sticking my head in here just to get it right. Sorry, I just hit the camera. Okay, and then do you see how perfectly that's stamped? Oh! Okay, so I've got one of these, and then I'm going to continue. Oh, I forgot I have So Saffron in here too. Sometimes a yellow is just what your card needs. All right. So Saffron, that's going to be this little guy here. And I will stamp that, the first one, and then the second stamping. And you can just see through for the perfect placement, which I just love. I love that it's so easy. And anything that's easy is good in my book. Don't you think? Now I'm going to do this one that I just did in So Saffron. I'm going to do that again in Pool Party. So let me quick clean that up. I think this one is this is my stamp cleaner here that I was just using. Okay, so Pool Party. So again, I'll do that detail first and then stamp off for the second one. Perfect every time. Oh my gosh. All right, then we're going to move to my Calypso Coral. Do you see how I'm opening and closing these pads as I'm using them? That is really not normally my MO. I usually like to leave them all open. But I've gotten some comments from people that they don't like that. Maybe it's because I get ink everywhere all the time. Like there's always ink places. Okay. So that was Calypso Coral. Then we're going to crack that mint macaron. Oh, it's already open, so we'll do that one. Again, not my favorite color. Oops, we got to do the detail first. But it works, so we'll go with it. So there we go. Ink this up, stamp it off, and there we go. Perfect. I mean, seriously, it's like I'm a professional stamper or something. Oh my gosh. So if you caught my Facebook Live this morning, we talked about a great many topics, one of which, excuse me, was April the giraffe. Have you guys been watching this internet phenomenon? It's hysterical. Not because poor April has not given birth to that baby giraffe yet, but because of the comments people are making on the Facebook Live. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. People are like losing their over it, and it is hysterical to listen to people. Oops, that was terrible. You know, my surface here has some give, and I think that's kind of my problem. See, that was much better. Now I'm actually going to do 2 of these. Okay, so I was watching the other day, and people were really upset about the frowny faces that they're giving. I suspect the frowny faces are like, I can't believe we've been watching this giraffe wait to give birth for so long. At least that's, if I had a frowny face, that would be what it would be about. But the other one is like all these people who are claiming all of this vast giraffe knowledge, and then then there's other people calling it a camel. I like, what? It's just, if you need some entertaining, totally go check that out. Just Google April the giraffe because it's easy to find her. This one is like one of my favorite ones because I just think it's cool looking. Okay, so now that I have die cut stamped all of these, I'm going to die cut them. So I will go do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all the pieces die cut, which makes the assembly a piece of cake. So you can see, I'll just pop these out here. Super easy to do, and I love that the framelits cut out like, oh, just about every single piece in the stamp set. So that is awesome. And the stamp set is huge. There's 30 pieces in it. And the die cuts, I have to check how many. I can't remember how many there are, but quite a few. There's, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 pieces. That's a lot. Okay, so to assemble this, I also used the Hearth and Home framelits, or as I like to call them, the window framelits. And then I'm going to take a piece of vellum and cover the back of my window, just because, you know. Do you like that? Just because? That's my reasoning. Sorry, I had to grab a piece of vellum from behind me. So I just have a piece that happens to be the right size here. Now, of course, all of the details, the supplies, the colors, all of that good stuff is on my blog, so you can check it out. The link is in the description of this video, so you can find it there. And you can see I'm just putting that on here, and then I'm going to trim the excess off. Just go inside here a smidgen so it doesn't stick out. Isn't that like the most impressively straight line I've ever cut? Just kidding, it's terrible. Okay, so I'll take this, and you can see my window. Now I could, if I was like really fancy, I could put something behind the window. But I'm feeling pretty fancy with all the succulents I die cut, so I'm not gonna. All right, now I have a half a sheet of Soft Sky, and that is what I'm going to mount this to. So I'll just put another layer of Fast Fuse on here, and I will place it centered on here. Then I have the little sill, windowsill right here, and I will take some dimensionals, and this is a fantastic use for your edge pieces here that you have on your sheet. And I'm putting them down just a bit so that I can kind of tuck things in to the ledge as I'd like. Okay. Oops, sorry. Now, if you love these succulents, I have a fabulous online class for this. It is so awesome. And if you have already ordered it, it's coming out this week. It was delayed quite a bit due to my impending illness, but I'm very happy to report that as of this week, I will be completely caught up from being sick. So I'm pretty excited about that. But check it out on my online class page. There's a link in on the web blog post for this. So then what I like to do for this is just kind of position all of these flowers where I'd like them to be. I'm even going to kind of cut off some of this succulent so that I can just kind of tuck it in here like that. I could save this piece for later if I wanted, or someplace else. It's totally fine. But what I like about this is it gives me the ability to kind of position things where I'd like and then change them around if necessary so that they fit the way I'd like them to fit onto my little ledge here. And I'm going to tuck that one in down here. I've got this piece right here, and that one like that. Awesome. So now that I have all those pieces, I can start tucking them in and sticking them on. I used dimensionals or glue dots to get them positioned correctly because that was just the easiest to do with these little pieces. You can certainly use whatever you're most comfortable with adhesive-wise, but these I think are just easy, and I like the idea of easy. So I did mess around with this quite a bit before I came up with my final positioning on everything, just in case you were like, wow, well, that was fast, Dina. It did take me a bit more time than this particular one is showing up as. Now, I think I'm going to pop this one. I'm going to pop a couple of these flowers up because you know I like dimension. I mean, if nothing else in this world, I like dimension. But I have to say, for my online class, I really liked kind of some of the ideas I came up with that were a little different from what I've been seeing out there. And I think that just kind of goes to show how versatile our stamps are and how you can use them in so many different ways, which I just love. Isn't this looks like the boot of Italy, doesn't it? This little thing right here. What country does this succulent look like? Why, Italy. Okay. And then, let's see. The other thing that I think is fun about this is you can kind of position some of these up higher and some of them down lower, so you kind of get a variety. For instance, I will pop this one up next to a piece that's not popped up. So that just kind of makes everything fun. Okay, now I have a couple more little touches that I want to share with you how I completed them. Awesome. First of all, I thought this needed a little something, so I added a little bow. And I made that, well, when I say bow, I did that with linen thread. So I'm just going to tie my bow, tighten it up, and I'll glue dot it on there. One of the things I like doing is sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, that didn't really work. Never mind. Sometimes I can get the linen thread to curl like I can the baker's twine, if you've seen me do that. But it doesn't always work, so if it doesn't, oh well. Now I also am going to attach that I just rolled up a little glue dot into a log-like shape. And then I'll position that right on there. Then I also took, this is one of our lace doilies, and I'm just going to cut off a hunk of it like this. And I'm actually just going to tuck this underneath. So I'll put a little of my fast fuse on a couple spots and then just literally kind of shove that up under there. This, I thought, just made it a little fancier. And after all, this was a I'm here for you card, so I wanted it to look nice and fancy, you know, so as to cheer someone up. Okay, there we go. So I tucked that in under there. And then, of course, my sentiment, here for you. Now, this is from the stamp set, Here for You. And this has some great sayings. Hang in there. So sorry you're hurting. Bad stuff happens. This just stinks. I wish it hadn't happened to you. And sometimes it's a pain in other places too. I mean, some of them are kind of silly, but most of them are very sweet. And they're the perfect words to have on hand for somebody when they really need that kind of a card. And the set's not very expensive either. So that's what I really love about it. It's just a great set to have. So I'm just going to take my scrap of paper here and stamp it in the mint macaron. No, yes, no. Pool party. Kidding. A girl can change her mind, right? Okay, so I'll stamp that there and then just do my little flag end with my banner punch, or if you don't have this, the triple banner punch works perfect for this. I'm also going to trim ever so slightly a little bit off because it's too wide. That makes me feel better right there. Okay. But since I did that, my banner's not even anymore. There we go. It's all good. I'll just adhere that. All right. Now, if you need any of the supplies to make this gorgeous card, please go to my blog and order, because you'll become a VIP member with the Creativity Cave, and we have lots of awesome perks. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, and we will stamp with you again soon. Bye, guys.